We live. Okay. Hey, Bodie. Hello, darling. Right, nothing's come up. There we go. We're up. Hello. Okay, so we're going on. Anyone?
2. Don't know who it is though. Samantha Munro, you
Hi,
are
Sam.
here. I can see pictures of people, I don't know who they are.
Okay. Right, hang on, I'll be with you in a minute. We just started early. Bodie's getting on my nerves already.
And showing off his bum.
As always. Hello, baby.
Francis. Sam England.
Okay. Okay, good, right. Okay, good evening, Francis Smith, Sam England, hello, lovely ladies. Someone's requested to join, send request.
I think that messed us up. Like, oh.
What's happened?
I know, it's just me apparently. D. Canton wants to join you.
Hi, Sam of Clan Foreshore, great name. Okay, so we started just a bit earlier. Nadia.
Oh, Nadia, darling, hello.
Pete here, hello, you're back home.
Oh, boo.
Sad faces. Hi, Sarah King, lots of love.
Sarah King, wow.
Sue O'Brien, hi ladies, so hi Sue. So yeah, I just started a bit earlier, just so I could, Alex Davids, hi lovelies, just so we could get Dee's phone up and running. Bodie's particularly noisy tonight, so I can't guarantee he won't cry for quite a bit of this. Evening, Kathy and Dee Dee and the cats, thank you.
Hello, Sarah.
From Sarah King.
Kunka.
So, yeah, and obviously if you could just give me a little heart and a like, because obviously Facebook don't want me on here. So, Jackie Bescott, hi gorgeous Jackie from sunny Sussex.
Lovely.
Hey gorgeouses, Jackie from sunny Sussex. Hi Jackie Best Sky and lovely in Sussex. So just while we wait for a few more people to come on, I will start to sort of go what this is about tonight. So it's about the 2022 crop circle season, but I want to link it into the alchemy and the understanding of alchemy, because really, actually, theoretically, all of these crop circles, it's just sacred geometry. So that's what this is going to be about, okay? We've tried to set it up so that you can at least see, hopefully you can hear me and I'm the right way round. Yes?
You are from me.
Okay. Hi Tegan, Joe Williams, hi
Tegan.
Joe. My lovely sister Joanne Mingo Raru.
Jojo.
Hello. Okay, so we'll just let everyone come in. I know we've gone a bit early, but that's okay. Yeah, first of all, hi Joe. Bush. I would never say Buckler, but Boucher. I like this Sam of Clan Foreshore. What a great name. Can you see that?
I can.
Okay. First of all, everyone, am I the right way round and can you hear me? Wendy McKellen.
Yes.
Hi Wendy, I hope you're well. I hope you are well, Wendy, as well. She's been through the mill a bit. Just talking about that very quickly. A lot of the healers, the mediums, the vibrational healers have really been absolutely crucified this last year, physically, mentally, emotionally.
Right, Wendy Bird.
Wendy Bird, hi Wendy. Right way round, say that without your teeth in. Good, I'm the right way.
You're all good. You're all
round.
good, you can crack on.
Okay, so I'm going to start with just talking about the healers and everyone that have been. I'm just talking about you actually, Wendy McCallum. I hope you don't mind, but Wendy's a great medium, psychic artist. She's been quite unwell, and we're hearing more and more, aren't we, Dee, of people in this field that are just getting hammered with their health.
Yeah.
So I think what's going on, there's quite a lot of vibrational energies that are affecting all of us right now. I'm not just talking about the Kabbalistic bloody agenda, and I'm talking about the vibration of everything. And it does seem to be having a little bit of an effect on health, well-being and mental health. So basically, us healers, mediums, reflexologists, homeopaths, vibrational healers, all of us, mediums, we need to stick together because we've all we've got. So anyway, hi Sheila Corner, Catherine Hodgson, hello.
Hi
how
Catherine.
Are you? So right, I'm going to crack on. So 2022 season and beyond. So this is about the connection with alchemy. So I'm going to show a few of the crop circles from 2022. I'm not going to show all of them, but I am going to show them. So can you see that okay? Is it light, Dee?
All good here.
All good. Okay, so this is my actual shot. And I don't know if you can see that tiny little speck here.
It's you.
That long line, that's me. And there was a woman here with her 2 kids. So this was a crop circle. It was in Hampshire somewhere, I can't remember now. And there was quite a lot of excitement about this crop circle because we went to a talk called A Night of Crop Circling with Roland and Nancy, and I'll talk about Roland later. They are, there was a man that did, well, probably what, a 25-minute presentation on this crop circle alone. So this crop circle, if you can see that, this is binary. So I don't know if I've got this right the round way. So 0, 1, 0, 0, 1, 1, 1, 0, 1, 1, 0. It could be the other way around, but it spells out binary. The only thing people are slightly confused about is the dash. But when people looked into it and binary sequencers looked into it, this crop circle spelt love. Okay? And did anyone go in this? Oh, it's just someone, sorry, someone saying, why is it affecting healers more than others? Hi, Sally Davis. Alex, great question. I think because healers like yourself, all of us, we are more susceptible, I think, to the finer, more subtle frequencies and vibrations. So I think we're kind of experiencing a new way of healing. I don't know if any of you healers have felt the same.
I think you're also working other people's energies, aren't you,
That's
as well?
true.
So people are generally being affected by the different shift in vibration.
Yeah. So Sam of Clan Foreshore. Great. I've been having headaches and not sleeping. Yeah, I'm a Starseed Palladian. Okay, so could be a star-seeding thing as well, but I don't know, Alex, if you've noticed the people that you're working with in clients yourself, that the energy just seems a lot kind of harder to penetrate. I don't know, that's what I think, but that's just my opinion. So anyway, yes, back to this crop circle. So it was beautiful. I went 14th, 15th of July I took this picture. Crop circle's now been harvested, which most of them have. It looks a bit messy. If you can kind of see it, it looks a bit messy. Now, I'm not here to tell you that they're man-made or not man-made. That's not why I'm here. Why I'm here is to analyse the geometry that the crop circles show, okay? I know some of them definitely aren't man-made. Some of them are. We'll talk about that later. So, but what we notice, me and Dee, in the crop circle world is there's a lot of people that make money from this, and a lot of people sell a myth. That is fair, isn't it, Dee? They create and sell a myth that in certain circles they know that myth does not exist, yet the myth is still being sold. To me, man-made or not, they're incredible. They're works of art. The ones that aren't are incredible messages. And even if they are all man-made, just say they are, someone that is placing these glyphs in the wheat are downloading it. I know that we're going to talk about the 772007 crop circle that happened in seconds. There has been one today at Alton Priors, which I'll show you. Alton Priors is near Alton Barnes, and the very famous crop circle field called Eastfield. So Eastfield is here, and the Alton Priors crop circle is just over the road, and it's on a farmer's land called Tim Carson and his son Josh Carson, and they cut them out immediately. They do not want people on their field. So the latest one unfortunately has no access, but I'll show it to you. Anyways, anyone questions? Hi Lisa Allen, Gail Phelps. I get tinnitus, I do as well. See? With really, really loud, and then thought 5G, and then I'd like it to be something positive. Okay, could be 5G. I think we're all having hearing issues. Anyway, so I'll crack on. So yeah, that is the love crop circle. Anything you want to add, Dee?
No.
Okay. Can you see that one okay? Yes?
Yeah.
Okay. So you see all these dots here? That is our group, the Goddesses of Mood. So I took this picture 9th, was it, Dee, or 10th?
The 9th, I think.
The 9th?
The 9th of, Saturday the 9th of July.
Saturday the 9th of July. So this was near Micheldever, also in Hampshire, just before you go onto the M3. When we drove home on Sunday from Wiltshire, that was still there. So I don't know if it's still there now, because I think it's getting quite close to harvesting. So this crop circle was quite an interesting energy, was very strong, and my belief is, if you can read that this is the aspects of quantum duality and the polarity mirrored in the torus field. So the torus field, or toroidal field, it's called a toroidal field, sits around the body. Okay? Right, I've got some notes just so you know.
Somebody's asking, do you think they're man-made? Do you think basically they're man-made?
Some are, definitely.
Yeah.
And I will explain why. Some definitely aren't they, Dee?
Yeah, I believe that
I believe
some
that
aren't.
Some aren't. A lot of people go into the wheat. So when you can see here, so in these bits here that are greyed out, they're flat. They're not cut, so they lay flat. So the wheat is flat. And what they do is, on a man-made one, they look for little tiny breaks in the wheat where the stomping board's gone in. So that's one of the ways. There's some people that will not entertain the fact that any are man-made, and there are some people, interestingly, I will show you a book. So this is called Circular Evidence. Can you see that?
Just tilt it, that's a bit better.
Yeah.
Yeah, you had the light on it.
So it's called Circular by Pat Delgado and Colin Andrews. Now Colin Andrews went all in the 80s. He catalogued all of these crop circles, and he was a huge crop circle researcher, proper one. So he did a lot of the researching. He now fully believes that every single one of these are man-made. So he's completely gone rogue. So it's interesting that you've got people that were doing this in the 80s and really thought that there was a phenomenon. He has now completely changed his view. So all of those were made by Doug and Dave. If you look at Doug and Dave and look at what they do, it's bollocks.
I think also, just my opinion of it is, I think back in those days they probably were a lot more not man-made, but as time's gone on and the behaviour around crop circles, I would suggest most are man-made, and you get the occasional, just because the behaviour around them's been so divisive. And
so
do you think?
Like everything, Dee and I have been in crop circles where people have been fighting each other because someone said it's man-made, someone said it wasn't. I'm not here to tell you what to think. My view is some are and some aren't. And I believe that, and I definitely think there's a genuine phenomenon. But what's happening is, and I'm not trying to sort of say that it's all male, but a lot of male ego has come into this phenomenon and altered it. So it's all about ego, and we don't want anything. Freddie Silver, great book this, one of my first crop circle books, Secrets in the Fields, well worth a look. Okay?
Somebody's asking, do you think global warming's affecting crop circles?
I think what happens is on a slow crop circle year, the theory is that Wiltshire, so 90, I think it's 96%, all happen along the Wiltshire ley lines. So they're all clumped mainly in Wiltshire and Hampshire. So you've got the line.
And somebody's asking why there. It's a double question.
Right, so why there is because that area is absolutely chalky, but there's also a lot of underground rivers, and that's called an aquifer. And when you have chalk and water with the Earth's magnetic field, it creates a very, very strong magnetic pulsation. And the belief is that the crop circles happen along that. Someone interestingly did where the aquifers were along Wiltshire and Hampshire and slightly into Dorset. All of the crop circles were bang on where a lot of these aquifers were. Okay, so that's what they think. They think that the electromagnetic field, or the ley lines, or the torus lines, whatever you want to call them, house a very, very strong magnetic field. A lot of Avebury's on aquifer, Stonehenge, Silbury Hill, all of it. So that's what they think. In very hot years, when Swallowhead Springs, which is right by Silbury Hill, just by the West Kennet Long Borough, when that is dry, there are less crop circles because there's not a lot of water. That's the belief. So global warming, I don't know. Answer that?
Right.
Okay, so the interpretation of this is about the torus field. Now I will explain. So it can be called a torus or a toroidal, or it's a toroidal field, and it's a magnetic field with no radial components, so meaning it's a sphere. So it's electromagnetic spherical surface, like the Earth and the Earth's core. And this is what it looks like. So that's how the energy of a toroid or torus field moves. So there's no interruption to it. It's like a Mobius strip. It's a consistent infinity spiral. Does that make sense? Mm. I love that.
Wow.
That's what this would look like. So the crop circles would create an energy, whether they're man-made or not, it's irrelevant. They would create an energy because of where they are and the landscape that they're on. And they create this sort of vortexual sort of light and frequency, which alters our DNA, it alters our vibration. It's why there's so much crop circles synchronicity. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Can you see that?
Yeah. And
this is what the human torus field looks like. So every human being creates this toroidal sphere, interlacing energy that is very, very, very fine, but the vibration creates like a donut shape. And that's how the heart chakra opens, the third eye. You'll have, the third eye just doesn't vortex out. It vortexes out and then goes round and comes back in again. Does that make sense?
Does to me.
Great. I'm a bit behind on the...
Yeah, I think I am as well.
No, you can't see this very well. Sorry about this. This crop circle, no one got an overhead shot of it. No one. This is all, you can't really see here, I'm sorry about this, but this is all of this, all of that. The farmer went straight in and cut it out. This was Stanton St Bernard, which is just by Milk Hill. And you can't really see it, but when you took an aerial shot of it, 1, 2, 3, 4, it had loads of interlacing circles. I think it was a really beautiful crop circle, but unfortunately no one got the sacred geometry imagery of it. The droners didn't get there in time, so farmer cut it straight out. But it's an interesting one, and if you can see, well, you can't, there's loads of dots down here. This is our goddess of Mu group. So we went into the crop circle because even though it was cut, the energy of it was still there, still strong, still powerful. That's also on an aquifer line. Okay, I'll crack on. Can you read that?
Yeah. Crop
circles and alchemical transformation. So this picture here, see these two little things? That's me and Dee Dee Doodah. So Barbary Castle, I'll explain this because this is very interesting. Barbary Castle, people think that a castle is like a castle, but actually a castle is an old hill fort. They used to call it castle. So Barbary, it's called Barbary Castle. It's up near Barbary. That's right, isn't it? And the castle is a huge hill fort, and you have to come down a really, really steep hill driving to get onto the main road. So Dee and I were driving down, I can't remember what day
Sunday,
it was.
the 17th.
Sunday the 17th of July. So we're driving down and we look in the field, and it's the field, can you see this?
Yes.
Where in I think it was 97, this turned up. This crop circle actually helped physicists sort out a problem, a conundrum that they couldn't fix. And the pi ratio of that helped them do it. So this was a very important crop circle. So it was in the field with this one, So driving down, I say to Dee, I think there's a crop circle over there. And we've been doing this for 21 years, so you kind of know what you're looking at. So when we come down, we see a crop circle, and Dee and I think either it's been cut out or it really looks crap. It's exactly what we thought. So I got the drone out, and it was right by a shooting range, clay shooting. So as I put the drone up, we saw this, and it was really intricate. And this is the first time that Dee and I have managed to find a crop circle. So I put it straight on Facebook so people could come and have a look.
Yeah, before it's been advertised.
Before it was advertised by your normal suspect drone people. So we were really excited. So we put it up. It was very, very beautifully laid out, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was lovely.
Really lovely.
It's not a great picture, actually.
No, it's not great. You can't see it.
Yeah.
But these interwoven lines were beautiful. So I put it on Facebook, and I'm not going to name anyone, but someone who often gets to crop circles first to take a drone picture asked me if I would remove my imagery from Facebook. And I asked them why. And they said, oh, don't worry about it, blah, blah, blah. So I got back to him and I went, no, I actually really want to know why you're asking me to take my image off Facebook. So basically, he said, it's not finished. So I was like, okay. And this is a person that maybe, I don't know, but maybe peddles the myth a bit. I don't know. So I said, well, I'm not going to take it down. And he was like, well, just wait and see. You'll just have to wait and see. It was all big ego crap. But anyway, so overnight, this changed to that. Do you see it?
Yeah.
Okay, so we've gone from this beautiful interlaced to that. So it has happened in the past that crop circles have been added to or altered in some way. So, you know, and I said, again, I'm not getting involved in the man-made, non-man-made, but someone told me that wasn't finished. The next day that turns up. So, you know, doesn't take a scientist, does it?
To work that one
to
out.
work this one out. But even so, this one I really like. We prefer the original because the energy was lighter. It was, because there is an energy, and whoever made this, and you know, I can't say it isn't man-made. I can't say it is. But whoever made it, this was very, very integral, and the energy is there. So but then if you're looking at sacred geometry anyway, it creates a vibration in your soul, your brain, everything. So I think I'm coming at this now from a point where I couldn't care less if it's man-made or not. It's teaching us something, and it's teaching us that we have to transform. And if we don't transform, the planet as we know it, humanity as we know it, will not exist as we want it to exist. So we have to learn from maybe the original circle makers who were trying to teach us something. They then saw perhaps a rogue faction like Team Satan, which were crop circle makers, took the phenomenon, altered it somehow, made it an artwork. So I don't know. What I'm trying to say is it transforms. Anyway. So it's very pretty, but it's like a windmill. They called it the sail, I think. Or it looked like a rotary blade. So this is the, other than today, the one I'm going to show you next is the next most recent. You see that?
Yeah, I like that one.
This was beautiful.
Yeah,
and
really nice.
if I move my great big fat head,
you can see it.
You will see, can you see here?
Yep.
This is called a satellite. We haven't seen these for many, many years. In 2000, 2001, 2002, 2003, where there were crop circles in every bloody field you could see, a lot of them would have what is called a satellite. When you get them smaller, so a smaller one than that, like that size, it was called a grape shot, but that's called a satellite. This one was absolutely stunning.
And lovely to be in.
Lovely to be in. So we got in there not long after we had heard about it. This is also Torsmead Copse, which is by Alton Barnes. So I think the field next to it, the one that happened today, is next to this field. And the farmer owns both fields and he ain't happy. But this one was beautifully laid down. The symbology, I think, is either Earth's twin or our second sun. So I think this is talking about a planet or a rogue planet or another celestial body that is coming into our awareness, and to help highlight that the vibration that we're dealing with right now is as high as it's ever been. But this high vibration is echoing and almost highlighting how low the vibration is that we are in, that we exist on a three-dimensional level. Does that make sense? The world we're living in. So there's such a polarity of duality going on. Yeah, this one's lovely. Obviously, farmer went, do not go in my crop. Now, his reason for it, and I will tell you, he said that the wheat that they planted here was millet wheat, so it's very expensive. And when you go in here, when you go into where it's crushed down, it wasn't fully down. So it wasn't crushed right to the floor. It still had bounce in it. The farmer says if it's still kind of got bounce in it, it can still be salvaged. It can still be harvested. So when you've got people trampling in it, people's feet crush it down. You know, that's fair dues, isn't it?
And we only got in it because we hadn't yet been told that we weren't allowed access. So we were quite lucky, weren't we? But we were gutted because we really wanted to go in it overnight.
We wanted to go in.
Because it was lovely.
Yeah, it was lovely. There would have been a lot of interesting phenomenon that would have happened there, because these glyphs, crop circles, whatever you want to call them, they do emit a certain frequency, balls of light, orbs of light. It's really, it's quite normal actually to capture things. We've captured a UFO when in our favourite crop circle, me and Dee's together. Churhill, which is a great big, it's a hell of a walk, it's a lung buster.
Yeah.
And it's got this obelisk on it, so it's a memorial. and some man texted us to say there's a crop circle over Churhill. We walked up Churhill, and when we got to the top, there was a field, and it was huge, wasn't it, Dee?
Yeah, it was my favourite one. It absolutely took my breath away.
Yeah, and it was hard to get to. So a lot of these crop circles are right off the road, and you can walk straight down the tram line. This one wasn't. We were taking pictures, and we got a huge UFO, didn't we? In that.
So our friend Nadia from Belgium.
We can create crop circle with our intentions, especially in a group. Absolutely, Nadia. Nadia's saying that it's a lot of people have manifested a crop circle. Oh shit, I didn't put the Beckhampton one in. Our group, so our Goddesses of Moo group, so we run a group with 19 of us, isn't it?
19.
Amazing women. And just before we came to Wiltshire, we wanted 3 circles in a kind of Trinity Pisces shape. So la. That did happen. It didn't happen exactly as we had asked it to, but that's often the case. But that one was cut out immediately.
Straight away.
So it's a bit of a shame. But yeah, so Nadia's saying we can create, and we can co-create with the circle makers to ask for glyphs. Does that make sense? And Dee and I have done it, so but that's later in the slide. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Now this one, divided opinion.
Oh, sorry.
What?
Nadia's saying they asked for one with 5 people 2 nights ago. Got your wish.
You got your wish, Nadia. It's just saying you can go in it. Yeah, and group. So when you're group manifesting, it's more powerful than one because obviously the conscious collective is stronger. So this one was seen as the Masonic crop circle. I don't know about that. I think this is this here in. We channeled, and I've got a crop circle that we channeled, Dee and I and a couple of friends, that had this shape in it. And in Native American symbols, this is a very, very auspicious shape. So this was Etchelhampton Hill. This is my photograph. I think that's us in there as well. No, it was really interesting. My camera failed. So a lot of people would say this is man-made. The drone camera failed. Did you have problems with your phone, or was it?
No, I didn't use mine.
But there was a woman there. She was lovely, and she felt like she needed to go into the crop circle. And when she was in there, she lost her car keys. She couldn't find them anywhere. And when we were talking to her, she went at the top. She went, I had a feeling. She went, I wanted to go into it. She said, but when I started to walk down the hill to see it, she thought, maybe I shouldn't go in, and then she lost the car keys. So there was something to be said. We didn't like the energy too much.
Didn't like it at all.
But that can happen. It can depend on.
A lot of people said the same. A lot of people did not like the energy in that one. But there you go.
There you go.
Somebody's asking why do they cut them out immediately?
Because they don't want people going into their field and trampling on their crop. It didn't used to happen like that, but the farmers have kind of, the Pewsey Vale farmers anyway, I think, have kind of bandied together and decided that their best defence against people, especially, and I'm guilty of it, but I put it on the internet, their best defence is cut them out and people won't go in them. So that's why they cut them out. Okay, the brand new crop circle from today.
Yeah.
So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 16. So there's 16 interlocking circles. These ones here at the very end are actually the only ones that are connected. Sorry everyone. Hang on, we've had a malfunction.
Cat malfunction.
We've had a cat malfunction.
Is that right? Or is it up a bit more?
That's alright, it's fine.
I can put it up.
That's alright, Dee. No, it's fine. Okay. Everyone see that okay?
Yeah, you can see it. I'm just going to swing it over.
Can you swing it over a bit? So that was Bodie, by the way. Bodie knocked the projector down.
There you go.
Thank you. Okay, so from today, this is also Alton Priors. This is the same field, or nearest field to that one. Stephen Fricker. Some of these signs could be demonic rather than ufology. Could be. I don't go down that route, but definitely, Steve, I don't know if you went in it, but the energy wasn't like that one. That energy was light, it was uplifting, it was really special, vibrationally special. That one just felt a bit more chaotic, didn't it? And there was that woman running around with her keys, bless her, and there was other people that it just seemed like it wasn't unified, it wasn't flowing.
People coming in were just quite rude, actually. There was no sort of like, sometimes you go in a crop circle and people are very uplifted, aren't they? And they chat and people just came in, ignored everyone else and just did their own thing. It was a weird one.
And I think it should be the other way round.
So Sam Munro's asking, have you spoken to farmers when they cut them out and whether they notice anything or feel anything? Have they ever said anything? Farmers?
Yeah, so Sam, the man who owns...
Hit that one.
This field. He got the Led Zeppelin album cover. The Led Zeppelin album cover of a crop circle. I haven't got it here, sorry. But that made thousands and thousands and thousands of pounds. He charged people to go in. What did they say? 30,000 people visited that crop circle from all over the place. And he made a lot of money. So now he says they're all man-made. He gets really pissed off and he cuts them out. He doesn't feel anything.
Because he doesn't make any money anymore.
Because he doesn't make money, and he's saying because wheat is becoming, and he does have a point here, they're saying when the whole system collapses, so our financial system, our food system, when the timeline of the Kabbalistic timeline collapses, the wheat price is going to collapse. But at the moment the wheat's high and they're trying to salvage it. So no, I think there is one farmer that's very open and receptive. I think he's Hatpen Hill. And he does feel things. But I would say the farmers in the majority think it's actually criminal damage and vandalism.
Actually, there are a few other farmers who have witnessed or experienced phenomenon. There are some, aren't there? But that's going back a while.
It's going back a while. So, yeah. Let's talk about this new one. There are people in it, I can see them.
Yeah.
Do you know what? When you're driving along, you would be able to see this from Knapp Hill. When you see one of these in the landscape, it's really hard not to want to go in it.
Yeah.
It really is. And the temptation to just sneak in there is very strong. What are you laughing at?
I wonder what you mean.
What do you mean?
We've never snuck into a crop circle and crawled on our knees and
of
hidden.
course, we've never been camouflage running in. There was a crop circle that I went into. This was pre-D, called the Dolphins, and I've got a picture of this. And it was so lovely. It's a crop circle, I'll never forget it. And actually, my life synchronicity, I absolutely 100% put down to crop circles. Obviously, on my own awareness, but the crop circles seem to take my life and steer it in a certain way. So I have all of these glyphs, man-made or not, to thank for that. Where was I going with that? Dolphins. So yeah, a farmer came in with a shotgun. Got to be honest, I almost shit myself. He was so red in the face, I thought he's going to keel over. So he had a shotgun and he was screaming at us. And we are trespassing, let's make no mistake. And some bloke went up to him and he went, look man, this is all our land. This is all our land, man. And I just thought, oh my God. And he lost it. So I can see both sides of this, I really can. You know, I wouldn't want someone traipsing through my garden. I'm sure any of us would either. But it's difficult because there is a phenomenon that is occurring that is being completely ignored.
And they do put honesty boxes out, don't they? They collect for charities, a lot of farmers.
So there was, this one here, our kind of Masonic one. This farmer wanted donations to Cancer Research UK. So that's fine. A lot of them don't take the money.
Stephen's put, looks like the Teletubbies.
Yeah,
It does. I was thinking it reminds me of something.
It does, yeah.
I thought the Michelin Man initially.
So that is a bubble pentagram. It's actually quite beautiful.
I like that.
Okay, so we're going to talk about crop circles and alchemy and the mystical connection. So I want to show you this. Can you see that okay?
Yes.
Now this is called, it's the sphere of vitriol. So V-I-T-R-O, so vitrolic.
Yeah.
I've written down here. Bear with me. So this is the alchemical approach. So in alchemy there are 7 stages to our alchemy process. And by alchemy process we mean spiritual alchemy. But it's also about numerology and numbers. So this, number 1, so the number 1 represents the void of consciousness. The macrocosm, which is the higher, and the microcosm, which is the inner. And this points to individual expression. So the void, or number 1, points to the void of consciousness, our individuality, but also expression in ourselves and external to ourselves. Number 2 means duality. So it's polarizing opposite forces. Sun and moon, which you can see here. Sun and moon. So sol and lunar. So that is representing opposing forces, male, female, opposing forces, as above, so below. So it sets everything into motion. So when we talk about the number 2, so 22, 22, these numbers of duality set everything into motion, and the void helps our individual expression in that motion moving forward, okay? So we talk about 3, and this is called the Trinity Spirit. So it's anima, corpus, and tria prima. So animal, vegetable, mineral, all of that. But it also represents the trinity of mercury, sulfur, and salt, which are the 3 alchemical properties which can take the soul and expand its awareness. Okay? This is also about what is called the great work. And this is the 3 stages within the great work. And the great work means alchemy. So changing our alchemical understanding. And the 3 stages were also signified by what is called the trine and truine spiritual concepts. And they often used the colours black, white and red, which is a lot of pagan colours. And black and white, obviously, if we go back, we talk about Masonic, you've got the black and white floor, which represents duality. And a lot of the Jacob's ladder in Masonic is also red. So it's just about the trine and the truine spiritual concepts. And I believe that crop circles are here to alchemize our spirit, and to make us look at not just a field of wheat or a landscape, but we then understand the true nature of that landscape. Okay, so back to that. I love this. This is Father Time. Can you see he's in a triangle? So this is the Philosopher's Stone. We'll talk about that later. I love his feet. He's got big old hairy legs. But everything in this is about vitriol. But I'll go back to the, moving on to the 4, so the number 4, which is called the organising of matter. So the 2 polarities and the 4 elements. So you've got 2 polarities in the jewel, but then you've got the 4 elements which create the cube. So corpus and trine are triangle, and if you combine the cube and the triangle, you get back to 7. And 7 is the highest principal point. Also interestingly, when 3 or 4 are multiplied, when 3 and 4 are multiplied, you get 12, which is the 12 signs of the zodiac. Now I'm going to refute that a little bit going forward. Okay, so just talking about alchemy and numbers. 5, we have the pentagram, so that's the 4 elements, so earth, water, fire, air,
and spirit.
spirit,
Spirit's at the
north,
5.
south, east, west.
Yeah.
When you add the 5th, it's called the quintessence, so the quintessence, and it's a hidden element, and it's the body of the alchemist, and it's a symbol of change. So the 5th element is called the quintessence, and it's the quintessence of our spirit. So we can move from the cube, which is, houses, cubes, everything's cubed, money, cubed. When we can move beyond the elements of 4 into 5, we are moving beyond the material world into our understanding of much higher spirit. Okay? Has anyone got any questions? No? Okay. 6 is the number of polarity of the higher dimensions. It's also linked to the vibrational octaves that stand of the 2 pillars of the tree of life. There will always in alchemy be 2 pillars. You've got it in Masonic, 2 pillars. The pillars represent us. The duality again, sun and moon. But with the octaves, with the 6 and the 6-pointed star, which I'm going to talk to you about later, it becomes sound, time and light. So not only are we alchemizing and trying to expand our awareness into things we don't understand, it makes us open to it and to hear the sound of it. Okay? And when we get to 7, it's the magical alchemist number. 7 planets, 7 metals, 7 stages of alchemical transformation. 7 chakra points.
Yeah.
Even though there are actually 144 chakra points, but that's for another time. Okay? And it means death to rebirth. So 7 is the number of words in the alchemical mantra vitriol. So this, which is the visit of the interior of the earth through purification, you will find the hidden stone. So it's called occultum lapidem. But the vitriol, so it is spelled out. Let me go, there we go. That's how, the meaning is, no, I can't read Latin, so bear with me on this. Visitor interiora terrae recta whatever, invis occultum lapidem, or visit the interior of the earth and purify it, and you will find the hidden stone. Basically, this is another way of saying, look within yourself for truth, because you ain't going to get any truth outside. So,
ooh, massive orb.
Massive orb when we're talking about truth.
Massive orb.
Yay! Okay. So oftentimes when we're on Facebook Live, we get orbs, which is not dust. And it often comes in, doesn't it, when we're talking about this sort of thing? Anyway, so basically that, you could study this for months. And it means we are going to open up to sun, spirit, earth. He is your quintessential philosopher's stone. You've got all of the alchemical elements within it. But the vitriol, and isn't it funny, we get called vitriolic, don't we, when we're
angry and
having an opinion. And, there's been a lot of vitriol about what's been going on during the pandemic and all of that, and it's been vitriolic. So maybe my truth is mine and someone else's isn't theirs. They're entitled to that opinion as I'm entitled to mine. But I think we're in a planetary alchemy, but I think we're also in an era alchemy as well.
Bodhi agrees.
Okay, so, see that one? Roughly.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is the serpent. I can't remember where this one is. I think it was round way, but I could be wrong. I love this. Beautiful, beautiful. You've got the duality of balance. You've also got the Trinity. You'll also have embedded in it the quintessence, and the 7 and the 44 and the 33. You'll have all of it. So I was talking about the 7, and then we were talking about the 12. There's like the 12 disciples, 12 months of the year, blah, 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 blah. The reason I put this one in is because we have a new, well, it's not new, but the information coming down now is that Ophicus, or the great serpent bearer here, You probably can't see him too well, but there's
Yeah,
your
you can.
snake. He's your 13th zodiac sign. He isn't actually recognised as a zodiac sign, and I'll go to that there. So Ophiuchus, he's called Ophiuchus, that's how he wants to be pronounced, is a large constellation, the serpent bearer or serpent holder, said to represent the man in the coils of a snake. Both the celestial equator and the ecliptic pass through it, but it is not counted among the signs of the zodiac due to the Christian calendar. So Ophiuchus is coming back in. The information of the serpent bearer. And remember, snake, we were talking with Carly the last time on Facebook Live. The snake's been demonised, but the serpent also represents the dragon. And it also represents the feathered serpent, angel. So I think it's interesting because you talk about snakes and you talk about speaking in forked tongue. That's what we have been dealing with ever since. Hang on. What are you doing? No one can see him because no one can see him because you're not holding him in front of the camera. Right, Dee's been silly and trying to show Bodhi into the camera. No. Oh, hang on. There we go. Okay. Right, that's enough. Poor Bodhi.
Oh, I just
anyway.
needed that.
Right, Dee's got that out of her system. So. I've just seen it on the... right. Okay, that's finished now.
Finish.
Oh, poor boy. So with Ophiuchus coming back into our awareness, the forked tongue isn't of the serpent, but it's of everything around us. Sam Monroe's gone, yes, we can see him. Thank you, Sam. Okay. So Ophiuchus is coming back into our vibrational awareness. And can you see the...
Yeah. George Dragon
George
thing.
and the Dragon. So, you know, George, we're slaying the dragon. In England, being the heart chakra of the world, let's slay the dragon. The mythology is corrupted and we need to reintroduce the true mythology. Okay. All right. That's just... Oh, excuse me. That is just your 7 stages of alchemy until you can reach the inner sanctum and the inner sanctum of wisdom.
Yeah, can't, just so you know, we
Doesn't
can't
matter.
see, yeah.
Can you see that?
Yes.
Oh, okay, so I'm going to talk about the squared circle. So a lot of crop circles are squared circles, and even if they're not, you can still square them within the circle. I love this one. Very intricate. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pointed star, which I'm going to talk about in a minute. So this was a squared circle. And squaring the circle means that the bringing of the divine union between ourselves and our cuboid world. So the cube represents us, our material world, the corporeal world, the terra firma. And the circle represents everything that is divine within it. And it's about expanding our 3-dimensional awareness to understand that we are just a tiny, tiny speck on this planet. And our lives right now are just a transitory aspect. And once we get over ourselves enough to realise that we are really just part of nothing, that is everything, all of this ego-driven stuff, because the ego sits within the cube. So it's about expanding, but it is about, and it's called the divine intervention. So when we can intervene in our own divinity, we can expand and create more harmony in our lives with ourselves. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
6-pointed star, which is out of order. Hang on. Yeah, okay, so when you get the 6-pointed star, is that 6 or 7? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it's 7. Let's go back to the 6. The 6 represents the interfolding, interconnectedness of our inner world, quantum reality. So the 6 points are protection, but they also open up doorways that are not actually available to us, or that we can't see in our 3-dimensional world. 6-pointed stars are beautiful. And if you ever need protection or need a bit of manifestation, always go with a 6-pointed star. Okay? I have to crack through this, got quite a few. 7-pointed star. It's called a heptagram or a septagram or an elven star. It's also called a fairy star, but it is also called a gateway symbol. And it's a symbol of also protection, but perfection. And religiously, it means it's God number 7. Now, remember, we talked about the 7, the unification of alchemy. But with each point, and each one of these points represents a path to prepare our entrance into our inner world. And the saying is, if you want to know God, you've got to go within. Because God is within us all. God, Godhead, Goddess, whatever you want to call it. This crop circle is beautiful. Now, you remember I told you about grape shot? The little ones, that was one right there. So a very small circle underneath, outside of the circle. What's also interesting, you could square the circle here. So people often draw geometry over it, so you could square the circle, do all sorts. Okay, any questions, Dee Dee?
Nope.
Great. Another 7-pointed star. This one was really, looks a bit shabby in there, but apparently on the ground it wasn't. So again, this is your heptagram, your Elvin star, but it's got the crescent moon, and the moon represents everything that is mysterious, everything that is hermetic, and hermetic meaning that which is hidden, that we can't see, that is sealed. If you remember that things are hermetically sealed, it means no one can gain access to it, and only alchemists could gain access to hermetic principles. So it's the same sort of thing. These are just crop circles from the past. Okay, now this is the 8-pointed star. See, these geometries are, now I love the 8-pointed star, so they're quite difficult to make. Can you see it all right on there?
Yeah.
Okay. So Egyptians said that the 8-pointed star represented the 8 deities called Ogdod, so O-G-D-O-A-D, Ogdod. And it was 4 female and 4 male gods, and they were the primal elemental force. Bodhi's having a nut. And they created the world and the sun god Ra. Okay? So what they understood was that Ishtar, they believed that it was Ishtar, and Ishtar is Easter. So remember, that's very pagan. God, I've only just noticed that. In the very top corner,
See, I'm not
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
cute.
6 triangles.
Is somebody saying that? Because I'm not getting any comments. Is somebody telling you that?
No, I'm seeing it.
Oh,
So
okay, that's fine.
Don't know if anyone's commenting, so it's
No.
okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So you've got 9 actual triangles, and this looked like a clock face. So representing that we are moving through the eons of time, and we have no choice but to go with the flow of it. Beautiful, this. I don't know where this was, actually.
When was it? No, roughly.
No idea. No, I'm not getting any comments either. I don't know people are commenting. That's okay.
Probably had their minds blown out.
Right. This is the Philosopher's Stone. So you've got the infinity or torus Mobius strip. Then you've got the squared circle. Then you've got the triangle. The Philosopher's Stone is one of the most powerful symbols that you can use when you're trying to create a different vibration in your life. Okay? It make a man and a woman a circle. Out of the triangle, make a circle again, and you will have the stone of the wise. Truth, love, good, right, morality, natural law, higher self, higher will. But also, I think, understanding of our sovereign right, our sovereign being. And I think we have to alchemize and ascend, because if we don't, I'm sorry to say this, but I think we're all a bit buggered. So we really do have, as a community, as a collective, stick together and create a philosopher's stone, not only for ourselves, but for our community. And I would like to do a bit of work on the philosopher's stone on my next live, where we are going to try and manifest and create energy for the world. And it sounds a bit, you know, trite. Dee said wank.
Woke.
Oh, woke. Dee said woke. Yeah, if any of you know me, I'm certainly not woke. But what I think is, we need this autonomy of our sovereignty to bring everything back into harmony. Okay? And that's just the philosopher's stone when it's really energetically at its best. You can't say, I love this crop circle. This was special. I think everything, just get some water. Okay. So this was the circles within the cube. So it tipped on its head the whole philosophy of the squared circle and went into the multiple circles within the cube. And the energy of it was powerful. I think also there would have been a binary sequence within this. I'm going to have to move forward because we're cracking on, aren't we? So I'm just going to show you some of the beautiful crop circles from the past. So this was the circle in the cube within the circle. So it's taking the squared circle. So it's actually saying that our three-dimensional lives, when we move into 5D, which is what we're all trying to do, we won't be conformed within the four elements. We can expand beyond it. And remember, we're talking about numerology, and 7 being the God number and the pinnacle number. That's another square. I love this crop circle. A lot of money was made for charity in this one. It was absolutely sublime. The energy of that was, I can't even tell you. There was a big Mayan theme that time. So you had the Mayan headdress, but this was the squared circle within the 6-pointed star. So, you know, okay, I understand that some of these circles are man-made, but some of them defy logic. Okay. Now, I want to talk about a crop circle that turned up on the 7th of July 2007. There was 3 people, maybe more, on the hill. A man had a video camera, a night vision camera, pointed at the field about, I don't know what time it was, 3:13 or something. He had to go and change the batteries of the camera. Just changed the batteries of the camera over. There was a huge flash in the sky. And by dawn, so usually about 4 o'clock, this came up. Can you see that all right?
Yeah, it's a bit
And
fake,
this
but you
was
can.
absolutely huge. It went across, well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8 or 9 tram lines. But how far it was across, it was exponentially huge. This was Eastfield, so Tim Carson again. So he wasn't best pleased. But this one turned up overnight within seconds, because that field had been looked at. So I would like someone to explain to me how that was man-made, because they will never, ever, ever be able to tell me that was man-made. So, and there's video for it. I forgot who the man was, Gary King, and someone called Winston someone. You can look it up, there's a video, they talk about it. It was also linked to the Kabbalic tree, which you can see here. Okay. So I know a lot of you know this, but just let me go through it again. The 7 stages of spiritual alchemy to transcend towards a lighter field and expansive view of our reality, or our perceived reality. So moving from 3-dimensional into 5th dimensional. through the 4 dimensions, by the way, which we talked about always gets left behind. That we can't have the 5th dimension without transversing through the 4th. Okay, so the spiritual alchemy is calcination, which is recognizing and recognition of faults; dissolution, engaging with our faults; separation, releasing our faults. It's called conjunction, but they're calling it conjunctio, but it's conjunction really. Union of opposites, and it's called the lesson stone. So when you realise that everything is a perception, our reality is created by ourselves. When we can separate ourselves from that, we can move out of pettiness and ego. It's hard, and no one's saying that it's easy. Fermentation is our initiation into the higher realms. Distillation is raising of passions and a period of introspection. And by passions, they don't mean passion, they mean your soul, yourself. And then coagulation is attainment of all things. Okay, so that's when we're going into 5th. We have to release the ego, understand that everyone has entitled to a point of view. It's so hard. It's hard, especially given that some points of view I vehemently disagree with. It's not my perception of what reality is, but it is someone else's. You know, and I'm talking about the vaccine. I'm talking about COVID. I'm talking about all of that. We've got such a division in how our alchemy is becoming evident. But that's for another time.
I suppose the division is being deliberately put out there in the ether, you know, in our consciousness, isn't there?
It's interesting you said ether, because that's right.
Yeah.
It's in the ether.
By way of preventing such attainment to spiritual harmony.
Well, they don't want a world that's harmony and harmonious will work together. So be a barter system, wouldn't there? No one would have more. Everyone would want the best for everyone else, and we're just not there. And I don't mean in the communist way, by the way.
Ooh.
Okay. Oh, I've got one other thing to say about the 7-pointed star that the Egyptians called Ogdoad. So Ogdoad, and we talked about Wiltshire being a huge spiritual place. There is a river Og. And that is, it's a very short river, and it runs through Ogbourne St George, Ogbourne St Andrew, and Ogbourne Maisie. And Og in Hebrew means Book of Numbers. So they think that Og and the Book of Numbers is where numerology started. So Faye, that one's for you. Okay, so you all know about the ley line, so I won't go too much into it. Can you see that okay?
It's a bit small.
Bit small, it doesn't matter. So this is the St Michael ley line, which goes from Hopton to Bury St Edmunds, Royston and Royston Caves. I can't even read that.
Can you point on the actual...
some castle. Can't read it.
Something, I don't know.
Hampstead Honeys, Ogbourne St George, which we just talked about.
That's where we stay.
Where we stay. Avebury, Oliver's Castle, which was where a crop circle was filmed by Balls of Light, which has been refuted, but it's also been unrefuted. So look it up. It's called the Oliver Castle Crop Circle. You've got Boroughmont, which is in Somerset. Then you've got Taunton. Went to school in Taunton. Cadbury Castle. St Michael's, the Hunters, it goes all the way, St Austell, St Michael's Mount, and goes all the way through. So that ley line, but ley line doesn't just go in a straight line, it meanders. And they're saying now that it's got a 25-mile radius. So the ley line isn't just in the very specific, just like through Stonehenge, it's got a 25-mile radius. Okay, so this is the musical scales and the true colour. Schumann resonance, Earth circumference is harmonic, it's at 7.486 Hertz. Earth rotation is 389.57 Hertz. I will put this on my page so you can look at it because it's really interesting. Okay, talking about the Schumann. So the Schumann resonance has been off the scale
For a long time.
For a long time, but seeing we've had a lot of solar activity, solar storms, the Schumann's gone crazy, and it's still really not coming back down. So the vibration is intense, and I think that's why we're all feeling the way that we are. Okay. So I channeled that there was another ley line called the Arimathea line, which started from Avebury and went all the way through to Glastonbury Tor. Oops. And Arimathea was supposed to have stood on Wearial Hill, which I'm going to show you in a minute, put his staff down, and because he was weary, this was where he was going to settle. And where he put his staff down, the holy thorn tree grew, and there was a holy thorn tree in Glastonbury,
Wearial Hill.
Wearial Hill, where Arimathea put his staff down, and in Glastonbury Church. It's not the abbey, it's the church. And these
Furball?
Yeah, I think it's when you hold Bodie up. I think it might have floated over. These holy trees will always blossom at Easter and Christmas without fail. So that's all that's left of the holy tree. Well, this was a few years ago. Can you see this?
Yeah.
So the tree, that was the holy tree. That's all of the gifts from the Druids and everything. Now this doesn't even exist because the farmer on Wearial Hill, the man that owned it, wanted to build houses here, and he was denied access. So he came with his tractor and he took the whole tree out. So all there is now is well, it's not even a stump, is it? A tiny little bit. So it's quite sad, really, that he had to demolish one of the holy trees. But there we go. That's progress for you. Okay. And now we've talked a lot about Hermetic and the Arcanum, which is ancient, and Hermetic, which is hidden. So to study mysticism, you needed, in the Latin mystery schools of Plato, etc., belief in an everlasting life of soul, check. Initiation rituals and alchemy awareness, check. The idea of esoteric knowledge, concept of revelation to the immortal state. All of this in modern day can be concluded as consciousness. So we are all learning our Arcanum Hermetica, all of us. And thank God we are. Okay. Back to the alchemy. Look at the amount of people in here.
I love that one.
Right little gathering this was. So, stunning crop circle. Loads of people in it. You don't get that so much anymore because the farmers are a little bit less inclined.
Well, there's less people coming from abroad now, isn't there?
That's true.
There used to be thousands.
Right, Dee, can you see here, or is it too low?
What are we looking at?
see
Some
that little
line?
line?
Yeah, is that where they've traipsed through?
Yeah, so usually when you go in a crop circle, you're meant to go along the tram lines. Lazy people cut through the wheat and go straight in. Big no-no. So if you do go into crop circle, always keep to the tram lines. Okay, now I told you about the red-faced farmer. This is the dolphins. Can you see it? So it was also, this was one of my favourite crop circles. The lay of the crop circle was absolutely sublime. It was, this was also, it was a bit further down from Alton Priors, but it was still right on the very end of Eastfield. Beautiful. I've never been in a crop circle like it, actually.
It's also the outer edge, like the dolphin bits, like a Mobius strip. If you look at the sides, it linked in. It's lovely.
Yeah. Beautiful. This one as well. Can you see this?
Damn.
So you've got the all-seeing eye in the middle. This was huge. And you can see the people in it, just about the size of it. It was massive. This was also, they think, linked to the Emerald Tablet and Thoth the Atlantean, for those of you who know it. Okay. All right, I'm just going to go through the 5 processes. So I've put the crop circles that I believe represent the 5 processes of attaining mystical knowledge. So the first step is the awakening. This is the realisation that the world as we know it holds a much deeper, more interconnected path than what we call the corporeal one. Long-held beliefs can fall down and a new sense of being emerges at this time. So I want you to think of this not only personally, but also globally. So just think that the world's going through a mystical, vortexual metamorphosis as we are. And I think this crop circle for me represented coming out of our worldly understanding and really going into the deeper aspects. Obviously this was Steve Alexander's photograph. He's the one in the helicopter. The complexity of this was very, very strong. So for me, it highlights that we need to realise that our world is very, very deeply connected. You can see all the interconnecting lines. I want to show you the second one of interconnected.
Wow. Jesus.
This one, well, it's beautiful, isn't it?
Stunning.
This is interconnectedness. This is how, if we all see ourselves as quantumly entangled, quantumly connected, our world will be a better place. And I know that we will have to have soul lessons and there's a lot that goes on and involved with this, but we are interconnected. Make sense?
Mm.
Okay. The second stage is the purgation. I love that word. So purging. This stage is what alchemists also call putrefaction stage. We become aware of all of our imperfections and our finiteness within our physical body. So the physical body starts to struggle with the three-dimensional world.
Maybe that's why you healers are ill then.
Could be why the healers are ill. We're going
Not
through
just
purgation.
healers,
No, it's everyone.
Yeah.
But I think if you're working in someone's energy a lot, it's natural that that's going to kind of osmose.
Yeah,
to
because
you,
they're transitioning as well, aren't they?
Of
Their
course they are.
body's adjusting.
So this for me was a representation of that. You've got the furball. the enneagram, that's an enneagram, so it represents all sides of your personality. And you've got your pentagram, and then you've got the circle within the circle. So it's representing becoming aware of our wholeness, but becoming aware of that wholeness within our fractured aspect of ourselves. Does that make sense? Okay. This third stage is called illumination, an astute awareness of consciousness and our place within it. Old, outdated friendships fall away. Now, I know a lot of you have struggled with losing friendships during this time as well. I definitely think that the world is in the illumination stage. As much as hard as it is, this old, outdated friendships fall away. More like-minded people to attract to our energy. This illumination process can be very, very powerful. And I think that's where we're in, and that's where we're at. So, you know, I know there's division, but really like-minded communities are coming together.
More and more.
More and more and more. And more people are questioning the narrative. They are. There is an awakening that is occurring through this illumination.
Kate Butler will catch the replay. Has still got kids awake.
Okay.
Shocking that is, isn't it?
So this these crop circles represented the illumination for me. So you've got Wickham South. So it's a crop circle with lines like analog lines. So you can see that one?
Yeah.
So that's Wickham South. That's Wickham North. So they were two crop circles over the M4. So you had the M4, you had that one, and that one, okay? And some clever person put these two together. So the circles were overlaid. So they overlaid it. I'm using the golden section, which is the perfect geometry. And what they came up with, if I move my head, can you see it?
Yeah.
So they put it together, and you've got the face of the Turin Shroud and the image of Jesus from the Turin Shroud. and I'm not talking about religion here, but I'm talking about seeing things from two angles, and instead of separating them, bringing them into unification, and it gives you a 3-dimensional, 4-dimensional picture. Okay. Now the fourth stage is what mystics call dark night of the soul. This is the true purification and dissolvement of the ego, and can be marked by confusion, fear of loss, withdrawal from perceived divine presence, and stagnation of the will. We learn more from pain than we do through joy. This is the most transcendent stage of all, so it's a hard stage, but it's probably one of the most powerful stages. Okay, and this crop circle for me represents that. So we're moving out of the cube, and the cube, if you can see it here, the cube's flattened. So we've gone from cube and it's flattened into this beautiful sort of geometric spiralization. So you've got the cube in the centre, and then obviously the cube. So our cuboidal corporeal world has collapsed, and it's created a flatter geometry, and you've also got the triangle in it. You can't see it as well on here. There's the triangle as well.
You can, yeah.
You can. Perfect. Okay. The fifth stage is transcendence. This stage is called the unselfing, a complete surrender to our hidden energetic principles of divine will. No ego self can remain, and one is at total surrender to the universe. You can effectively cease to exit in the illusionary world and reject all forms of identification with the corporeal world. Now it's interesting, reject all forms of identification, sovereign being. Get your birth certificate back. Reject that is not true, and bring that which is. Totality with the oneness, harmony with nature and yourself. Okay, and for me, that's it. So Milk Hill, 13th, August 13th, 409 circles, crop circle relating to the Mayan calendar. This was done overnight in the peeing rain. It took over most of the field. It was pristine, there was no mud in it, and it really had been lashing down. Some woman was walking over Milk Hill with her dog and saw it. That for me is unrefuted, non-man-made. Make sense?
Somebody's asking, I think it might have been to the previous crop circle, the cube that's unfolded, could that be a representation of twin souls coming together? I've got to be honest, I don't know what it's relating to, but it's not long been up there.
It could be.
It could be another crop circle.
Yeah.
I don't know.
She might have to specify.
Yeah.
Okay. So you've got the unity symbol, which is interlaced. So there is no, the circle cannot untwine itself from the triangle. And we talked about the Barbary Castle. And then you've got the all-seeing eye. And this is also about the quintessence that we've talked about. This moving from matter into truth. And the truth is said to be placed in stone. Modern physics describes physical reality in terms of 4 known fundamental forces. However, physics has not accepted a universal framework. Occasionally, physicists have postulated the existence of an additional fundamental 5th force, which is called the quintessence.
Another orb from Faye seen another orb. I saw a little one, yeah.
Okay, this is. I was relating to the 2 images as one. Ah! So I go back.
Yeah.
That could actually be right.
Yeah, it's true.
So, Staccato, Cherry Lip, what a great name.
Great name.
So, it could be maybe the Magdalene and the Christ consciousness coming together, absolutely. Okay, moving on. So this one, Stonehenge, this is called the Julia set. This was known by a, I think it was Busty Taylor actually, I'm not sure. He was flying someone over Stonehenge, and he was saying, it wasn't Busty Taylor, it was someone else. He was saying that because he's a pilot, he always has to look at his, the ground and the framework in case he has to make an emergency landing. So he's trained to look. They flew over Stonehenge, that wasn't there. They flew back 25 minutes later, that was there. So
Yeah.
that happened categorically within 25 minutes. So, okay, that's the heart, which was called the Mandelbrot. So that was a fractal. Now, human crop circle makers often have to have a point in the middle if they're going to put their pole in to or laser. This had nothing, and it was completely circular. And you can see the harvester's just in the corner about to cut it out. Okay, right. Access to the holographic reality becomes available when one's consciousness is freed from the dependence of the physical body. So long as one remains tied to the body and its sensory modalities, holographic at best can only be an intellectual construct. So we're talking about out-of-body experiences, EBEs, all of that. When one is freed from the body, one experiences it directly. This is how mystics speak of their visions with such conviction, while those who have not experienced it for themselves are left sceptical. So just understand that the world is holographic in its nature. We go out of body all the time, lucid dreaming, astral projection. So take note of your dreams, but also understand that everything down here, I know I'm sitting on this chair and I know I'm touching this table, but that is only because I'm perceiving it to be so.
Right, so Christie's asked, what do you think about the most recent crop circles from this week?
What, man-made?
I don't know, that's all the question is. I don't know.
Right, I'll do it very quickly.
Might join late.
I will. That's all the way back, isn't it?
Yes,
So
we might join late.
that one and that one. They were really well put. This one, the one that I've talked about here, was beautiful. I don't know. And I don't think we'll find out because they're going to be cut out. I think that one's already gone, and the one today that's come in will be gone by tomorrow. Okay. Right. Right, just very quickly, just want to alter so the heart chakra of the world is the UK, and the upper heart, which is slightly above the heart point, called the Hermetic chakra point. So Glastonbury, Silbury Hill, Sil Baby, the chakra is the most important for the rise and awakening of humanity within the role of the Avalon sphere. So Avalon, as in Glastonbury, but the whole of the Wiltshire area. Sil Baby is a much smaller earth mound near Silbury Hill, and is not known of what it is or why it is. Silbury Hill is called the English Pyramid. Okay. So the third eye is a mobile chakra point, and it's migrated towards Newgrange, Neolithic and High Brazil, which is all over in Ireland and the northern France. This large and vortexual point stirs the energy for consistent renewal and revitalisation. Gaia, who's now called Goetia, if you will, speaks through these points and holds many undiscovered truths and symbols yet to be declared or unsealed. I think Ophiuchus is coming in to bring this unsealing and bring new information in. I think the shift in
big, it kind of stopped and hovered.
I think the shift in crop circles is also moving this way.
Evening, Sarah Richards. Nice of you to join.
Hi, Sarah. You don't know what they mean. What do you think about the most? I don't know what they mean. Well, I did go, Chrissy, I went through it, I did go through them earlier. Yeah. So if you scroll back to the beginning, I did talk about what I believe they were. Okay? They're interpretations I've done a bit earlier. This is Glastonbury tour on a nice cloudy day. And this is Silbury. And if you go right over just about here, just off there is Sil Baby, which we're talking about. Okay, so as Nadia was explaining, can we transmit our pattern of consciousness designed to transmit it into a crop formation? I know loads of you have heard this story, but I'm going to tell it very quickly. A group of 4 people joined together to manifest a crop circle in Etchelhampton, which is where the Masonic one was. The Masonic one was down there. We wanted it over here. So we were on the slope right where the fence is. So we had drums, we sang, we
Meditated,
ran around.
Fun.
Brian acted like an eagle. It was all very fun. These were the 2 designs. You can't see it.
Hold on, let me just move the camera.
No, you can't see it. It's not coming up at all. So there's another design. So that was the symbol. Now remember that was in the, oh God, that's interesting.
Masonic.
That Masonic sign was in Etchelhampton this year. So that's a bit of a coincidence. So that was called the true symbol. And the other symbol we asked for was a 4-pointed star. So a star like that in a circle with 3 pyramids in it.
Mm.
Okay, so we wanted it at Etchelhampton the next day after. Oh, and we also, the designs we asked via meditation, we used crystal sound bowls, and the throat and the third eye were tuned to 787 hertz. I don't know if that had anything to do with it. So we wanted it in this field here or here. The next day, Dee and I go back to that field, no crop circle. So we're a bit like, oh well, a bit disappointed. Now remember, this was the 31st of July. August the 1st, in Milk Hill, that's what turned up. And actually no one got in it because the farmer, as you can see right there, cut it straight out. So that and our other symbol, which you can't see, I'll put it on my page as well so you can see it. It's remarkably similar, don't you think, Dee Dee? Okay.
You know,
So do crop circles enhance our frequency? Many people have stated that their lives have changed since visiting them. I've talked about that. My life changed, I think, because of them. Okay, I won't do any more. Right, I just want to talk about a few things. So there is something called Sky High Creations in Netherlands that have done a night of crop circling, Roland and Nancy. Roland is doing private crop circle tours for people. He does it individuals.
or groups.
Or groups. So go to skyhighcreations.nl. I'm going to put the link on my page. My Instagram is kathymingo_Instagram. I also want to talk about, I'm doing a workshop with Crystal Shirley on September 10th. And we are going to be doing the ley lines of Surrey. So we commissioned Rory Duff to figure out the ley lines in Surrey, and they're not where we think they are, interestingly. So September 10th, from 10 to 4, we are going to go into the ley lines of Surrey. We're going to, hopefully weather-wise, go to where Rory Duff said one of these very strong portal points were. We will talk about the ley lines. We're going to work with the ley lines. We're going to do a lot about the energy of the ley lines and also clearing the ley lines in Surrey because they bloody well need it. It's linked to Leaf Hill. So anyone that wants to join us, it's £75 for the Saturday, and you can contact me. So yeah, just contact me or contact Shirley at Lucy's College if you want to join us, because it's going to be a really interesting day, because Rory Duff has done all of the ley lines around the area. So yeah, and we got Sky High Creations.
Yeah, just going back to Sky High Creations, it's probably worth people just going onto Roland's website.
Yeah,
because he's got some interesting stuff, and he's a really good friend of ours, and
yeah,
he's really honourable and very interesting. So really appreciate it, guys, if you could have a little look and like on skyhighcreations.nl
yeah,
for us, please.
Yeah, so and anyone in the community, also Kate Winter and Shirley are doing, they're starting a health alliance. Oh God, I'm going to forget the date. 10th of August, Wednesday, 6 o'clock. I hope that's right.
But Wednesday is the 10th.
Is it? That's right. So Wednesday the 10th at 6 p.m. They're going to have a meeting of the Health Alliance. So it's healers, carpenters, anyone wants to join that is going to create a community. I've been invited, I'm going to go and want to help out. And it's going to just be creating the East Surrey and South East Surrey Health Alliance. So it's about getting community together, okay?
Perfect.
So, thank you for joining me. Sorry, got another furball. So yeah, if you want to join me on September 10th, it's a Saturday, I think, or a Sunday. 6:30 p.m. Thanks, Alex. 6:30 p.m. Health Alliance, Crystal Shirley's, Lucy's College, Nola Road, Dorking. And yeah, if you want to join me and Shirley, because we work together, we've always worked together a long time now. But the ley lines, they're new and interesting.
Will people know who Rory Duff is?
Rory Duff.
Not everyone will know, I guess.
All sounds great. Thanks so much. Rory Duff is a big dowser. He lives in Stanton St. Drew, which is a huge stone circle, which is lovely. So yeah, I'll put it all on my Facebook. So yes, thanks for joining me. I'm going to do these a bit more regularly because Facebook have really algorithmed me out. So, you know, I've gone from, 200 to 300 people.
Yeah, and you might be having a neurology guest at some point.
Down to small groups of people can't find me. But it doesn't matter. Those that are here need to be here. And we'll grow this community because it's not about me, it's about all of us together. So on my next Facebook Live, I'm going to dump Faye right in it now.
Dump her in it.
Faye, who's on here now, we are going to talk about numerology. She's just starting in numerology. So she's going to be talking about numerology, and we're going to be talking about alchemy and numerology with Faye. So Faye...
I think she might have gone because she
Faye's
said
gone.
thank you.
Okay, it doesn't matter. So I'll put this all out there. I'm not going to do a Facebook every week, but I will. I'll put the next day up. Okay, so thank you so much. Lovely to see you all again, and yeah, keep in contact.
Thanks everybody. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.